Hey guys, it's Saturday, February the 17th of 2024. We're going to do our weekly forecast for net gas for next week. So without any further delay, let's get into it. As you can see, this is commercial. This is large speculators. You can see that we are at 82 and change. We haven't really taken out 96. So that's an area I'm watching in regards to position. Commercial are hedging, thinking that natural gas is going to go lower. And large speculators are minus 14. They haven't really taken out the minus 120 and change of the November 20th, 2023 low and November 20th, 2023 high. These guys right here, I'm assuming this is retail, and it looks like they're either hedging or going long, which makes sense. And that's pretty much what the commitments of traded report is saying. This is the key level to watch for both large speculators and commercial. Okay, so this is a weekly chart. This is cycle spectrum analysis, and I'm using data from 2001 and change to current prices. And we need to zoom in here. This is the dominant cycle right here, which is, I believe, is like 26. And now this cycle is going up. It hit a trough around February 6th, and it will hit a peak around April 29th. So keep that in mind. There's three cycles here. The 142, which is this one, as you can see, it's going up, but natural gas faded right here and it's going down. A couple of things to think about. I've seen it where it snaps back and follows the cycle, or this cycle just becomes a dud. So that 142 maybe is losing some strength. It's not going to be that important. You have the 124, which is very close. Cycle is up on the weekly, but natural gas is down. Could possibly be a snapback, but maybe it could be just fading out. The one that I'm watching now is the 228, and this cycle hits a trough somewhere around April 29th. So interesting, you see it here and you see it here. Can we go down to April 29th and go up? We'll see. It requires a seasonality. Around April, it's the strongest month. But here is showing that it's going to be hitting a trough in regards to cycle spectrum analysis. So can it be that we're doing an inverse? Instead of being strong in April, we're being weak and then turn up? That remains to be seen, but I'm just showing you what the chart is showing. So the 228 is highly on my radar. I kind of look this as a bell curve, that anywhere in this zone could happen where it could just snap and pop. It doesn't have to wait to the 29th. It could probably even do it a little later in June, but somewhere in this ballpark between February, March, April, even June is where, if this cycle is going to play out, there could be a possible turnaround to the upside. Okay, so this is the daily chart. I'm using data from 2017 onto current prices. And if we zoom in a little bit here, I want you to see this dominant cycle. This dominant cycle, it's a trough somewhere around pretty much the first week of March. So we're going to be monitoring this also. And there's two important cycles here. One is the 337. This one is going down all the way to June. And then the trough hits there and then it starts going up from there on. The next cycle, which is interesting, is the 257. This one hits a trough somewhere around February, 27, 28. That pretty much the last week of February, which kind of lines up with the dominant cycle. So it's going to be interesting to see if this is going to be the catalyst to turn us here on the daily. So anywhere here is very eminent for a possible capitulation, kind of sideways, and then follow this cycle if it's going to play out. We're using probability here with cycle spectrum analysis. So I'm just kind of showing you what I'm seeing here. And if we put the dominant cycle, which is 70, this is the 70 cycle by itself. This cycle now is starting to go up. Then it hits a peak somewhere on March 17, and then it goes down April 22nd. But if you use that in composite with the 257, this is what the projection is looking like. So let's see in the next couple of weeks if we kind of get this kind of price action, or if anything, at the bigger picture, using the 257 by itself, if somewhere around here we start bottoming out and things, maybe, producers start cutting and things just now start going up, gets colder, many things could happen. But this is the area, the ballpark between February, March, and April, knowing that seasonality, April's a strong month. But like I said, there's a lot of things happening here that also could be an inverse where it doesn't really pop on April, but it just turns around. So you kind of have to look at it twofold. Here's a seasonality chart I like to look at, and this is January 12th. There was the high, and then this swing came down, and as of right now, we're minus 38.23%. We put the 5-year average. The 5-year average says February 12 all the way to the 15. We should have got a nice little pop. You can see the natural gas has been pushing lower. From here, from the 15, it kind of goes sideways to lower. There could be a possible inverse play here where it naturally goes up and then it kind of goes sideways, but here it could probably reverse. So we'll see how next week, price action opens. But looking at February 27th in the future, looks like it gets this nice pop to March 1st and then kind of slightly grinds sideways to lower throughout the month of March, pretty much with pops here and there. If we take out the 5-year and put the 10-year, you can see that February 12th to the 15 gets this pop. But then this one on the 10-year average, it gets a nice little pullback, sideways to lower all the way to February the 27th. And then a pop March 1st, and then pretty much just sideways action all the way to April. Using the 15-year, same thing, February 12th to the 15, and then just pretty much sideways. It looks like from March 15 on to the 26th, it kind of gets this nice little gradual slope, grinding higher from there. And then we just got to look at April, what April, has for us. Okay, so this is my Elliott wave chart. I have an extension, fib extension from here, here. And we broke the 100, which was 205. Next one will be the 1.618, which is 127. Could get there, could. But things are kind of, looks like they could be changing here, but you just never know. But I have it there as a target. There's a projection wave 5 of 150. There's a trader that hangs out with us named Barry. He believes that we probably might head there. You can see that these are closes and looks like we kind of have like a little hockey stick. We look at here, our Stokes. You can see that there is some kind of life coming in here, but too early to tell. But we'll see how that's going to play out. This green line, projection line, is seasonality. Says that it makes like a low around the 16th, get a bump up, pulls back down the 27th, and then rallies. And then to the 7th of March, pulls back kind of sideways. And then from April the 2nd, it really rallies. We put our levels. You guys remember I got in somewhere around 166 and that didn't play out. I got stopped out. I minimized my loss. And there's a level here of 163. You can see it right here. And then there's a day you want to watch is February the 26th. It's a cluster day. So there's like a lot of stuff lining up there. So it's going to be, we'll see. I think it's important, but we just got to see what price action is going to do. And that's pretty much it. Linear regression is pointing down. Is 150. That 157, I think it's important according to one of Gann's theory. I've been looking at that 157 wide stall there, and I kind of pinpointed why. I'm not going to share that here because it's going to be very long to even explain that. But I think that's important right there. If that holds, there could possibly be a nice little bounce here. But if 157 is violated, then you could probably see 151, 150 here. But let's see how next week is going to play out in regards to price action. Okay, so this is the master chart I used to look in depth on natural gas. This is another spectrum analyzer that I use with an, I guess, a setting or algorithm of RPO. You can see that, let's make this a little smaller here. You can see that this is the area right here where we kind of bottomed out, and it's kind of hovering around there. Just in case doesn't play out, we also have pretty much March, anywhere March that first week, just in case this is going to go sideways and maybe do another leg lower or sideways capitulation. these are the two areas that I'm watching here. In regards to the PC cycles, this didn't play out. Let's see, this one right here. This one hit a cycle low around February the 10th, and it's just still pushing lower. As of right now, the close is 215. So this one is kind of early to tell, but didn't play out exactly. There's another one here, another PC cycle I'm watching, and you can see that it failed here. It's still pushing lower, so it looks like this is not panning out. And this is an annual cycle, and the annual cycle was indicating around the 10th, 11, and you can see that right now is kind of turning, but early to tell right now if it's going to really do it. Neural net, which is pretty much algorithm computer, is kind of forecasting maybe a possible turning point the 19th, which is this Monday coming up. So let's see if the computer wins this battle right here, if it gets it, and we get this nice pop. Just in case we do get a pop, just be careful because it could probably be a dead cat bounce. So keep that in mind also. The Bradley model, these two didn't play out anything, just kind of kept selling off. So the other one I'm watching will be right here, which is the 25th. It's a Sunday, but I guess Monday will be the 26th. And you know the 26th, there's a lot of stuff lining up on the 26th, what I call clusters. Just things just kind of lining up. The deltas lining up there. The Elliott wave chart is indicating the 26th, so keep that on your radar. And then lastly, for this master chart, the Fourier analysis that I use, you can see right here, there is a crossover, and that's the 15. And look at that. This is when it's kind of getting some life with the Fourier. So I don't know. We'll see. Too early to tell, but we got to see price action for next week. So that's from a different swing point. That's actually the same swing point. I'm using just two algorithm settings. And you can see this one right here is coming up, and that is the 20th, which is the Tuesday. This will cross over on the 27th, close to the 26th. Remember the 26th? Hot day. Whatever's going to happen there, if it's going to go up and then from here turn, or kind of just go sideways and do a final low there and then bounce. We just don't know. But just keep that on your radar just in case. I think that's it. We're going to go to the final chart to end this video. Okay, I just looked at a video on CNBC. Amrita Sen, she thinks, according to her analysis, that the downdraft of natural gas has to do a lot with weather and whatnot. So I'm going to include a link so you can check out her video, her interview. Pretty interesting, fascinating. So she's kind of leaning that it's all weather, but definitely she's very bullish. There's also the Biden halting LNG. They kind of say that's probably political. You never know, but is it logical or whatever? You decide. You look at the headlines and read the detail, but somehow there's a little tug and war here between these two guys. The border, he probably wants the border open. He wants the border closed. It says there's a little tug and war. He's halting LNG, which profits Texas. So there's a lot going on there. So who knows what's going on with the price and manipulation and pushing it down or whatnot. And then the other one I'm thinking is, the Ukrainian war. Russia, benefits from higher prices on natural gas. I don't know about Ukraine. And who knows if they are pushing natural gas down. So it doesn't help this guy out in regards to finances and, financing the war or whatnot. So once they maybe clear this war out and they, clear it out and make peace or whatnot, who knows if, natural gas will pop. But as of right now, could there be some manipulation in pushing natural gas to affect this guy? You never know. I digress. All right. 50% Juice Pitchfork penetrated it on Friday, but couldn't close above it. So keep an eye on that. Volume, you can see that it's back and forth. And it looks like the Bears got a little bit of edge, but the Bulls are kind of showing up. Now let's see if this 157 will hold. Let's go to our simple glance. I kind of cleaned things up here a little bit. There's a Woody's pivot, S1 on the, I think this is a yearly pivot, of 138. You can see the linear regression channel. It's overextended. This is the area I would like to accumulate, but you were close to the midpoint on the MACD, but so far it's extending out, so it's looking good. On the monthly MACD crossover, let's see how March, let's see how March will look, and maybe it turns around, but it's early in the game. But definitely very overextended. There's a this is a monthly S1 support of 145. And now looking at the daily, you can see that the MACD is positive as of, you can say maybe as of the 16th, which is Friday. I put some levels and I'm going to look at it more, but you can see the Tom D mark, which I call TD9, just kicked in on the 15th. You can see on the closes is kind of doing a hockey stick. We'll see. There's something going on the 18th, which is a Sunday, but it'll probably be affecting Monday. This is $1.50. That's that wave 5 projection level. So I kind of see support between 150 and 148. If there's another flush down, that might be an interesting spot, but I'm finding 157 also interesting. And then there's 142 using one of Gann's technique just in case it gets down there. Let's look at our midpoint chart and let's see what we got there. As you can see, these are the levels that I have. The bigger picture for the yearly would be the 133. I don't know if it's going to get down there. You see this red line. This is Friday expiration. So I don't know. They were pushing it all the way down for the option traders. And then from here, bounce it. I don't know, but it's just a speculation. Let's see if we hold 157. We got 3-4 hour positive. Let's see how the I think Monday is President's Day or Washington's Day, so we might not have a lot of action. Maybe they're going to close it in the afternoon, whatever the trading hours is going to be. But this is an area that I'm watching just in case 157 is violated. 142, 136. Looking at the weekly for the week, next week coming up, you need to get above at least 178 to continue pushing higher. You got, this level 181. You got also 186. Target will be 193. And also the last target for the week will be $2. So if you could get above here and grind higher for the week and hit $2, this is the area we're probably locking profit. Now, if they're going to, tank it even more, we need to take out 157. And if we do, targets would be the 150. That's that wave 5 that I was showing you earlier in the Elliott wave chart. And also 142, extreme to the downside. Now for Monday, and I know it's, it's what you call it? Washington's birthday. Let's open this up a little bit so we can kind of see what's cooking. Washington's birthday, trading day, and volume might be light. You need to at least get above 161. To get above 161 and also 162, you got a target of 163, 165, and then 167. If you're scalping, that'll probably be the target I'll lock in. They're going to push it lower. You got to take out 158, 157. Targets to the downside for Monday only. This whole chart is for Monday only. It will be 156 and then 154. Lastly, the square of 9, one of Gann's technique. 157, very important. That's the 225 degree right here. And it says found support. I was watching 194, which was 159. We're kind of oscillating around there. If we could get above 163, targets would be 169. But if we oscillate back and forth here and then push lower, obviously 151, 150, which is wave 5 on the other chart I showed you on the weekly, and then 145, which is the 135 degree right here. So these are the extreme targets for next week to see which one we're going to break out of. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on natural gas.